In today's video, we are touring the Kingston Penitentiary in Kingston, Ontario. Kingston Pen was opened from 1835 to 2013, and it was the oldest and most notorious maximum security prison. In 2016, the Kingston Penitentiary opened for guided tours, and that's what we're doing today. We took the standard tour, which was an hour and a half, and the cost is $40 per person, tax included. There's a more in-depth tour available as well, and I'll put the link to their website in the description below. The Kingston Pen was closed due to its aging infrastructure. We were taken to a typical cell block to see the actual cells where the inmates were housed. The cells we viewed were actually twice the size of the original ones, which were 2.4 feet wide, 8 feet deep, and 6.7 feet high. Really tiny. This was in effect until 1895, when they enlarged during the first major renovation of the cell block. Next, we were taken to see the isolation cell area. This was known as solitary confinement and was a punishment for misbehavior within the prison. This area also houses the control center for the prison. Prisoners in solitary confinement were allowed 1 hour per day in this tiny cement yard. In 2019, solitary confinement was banned in the federal prison system in Canada, since it met the UN's definition of torture. Inmates now must be granted at least 4 hours per day outside their cells, including 2 hours of meaningful human contact. Next, we were shown to the dome area of the prison where all of the cell blocks empty into. We were told here about the riot of 1971, which involved the taking of staff hostages, inmate deaths, and extensive damage. Many of the tour guides here were former guards or employees of the prison, and they provide first-hand stories of day-to-day life within the penitentiary walls. Next, we were taken to the shop area of the prison. There are many jobs available to the inmates, and they could apply to job postings. There is also a school available, so prisoners could complete their high school education while serving their time. Inmates were paid for their work at the prison. The starting salary is around $5.20 per day, up to a maximum of $6.90. Some of the money is put into a savings account so the inmate doesn't leave the institution broke, and the rest can be used to buy things from the prison commissary. Use of the canteen, however, was a privilege that could be suspended at any time for misconduct. Inmates worked in the shops every day the same as a normal job, and they acquired skills they could use upon their release back into society. Originally, the prison housed both men and women, and in 1845, an 8-year-old boy was given a 3-year sentence and was subjected to many occurrences of corporal punishment. He was a pickpocket. Next, we were taken out to see the exercise yard, and we heard the stories of the successful and unsuccessful attempts at escape that happened over the history of the prison. Kingston Penitentiary housed a regional treatment center, an independently managed accredited psychiatric facility providing in-house mental health and treatment services to the Ontario regional population. These murals were painted in 2003 by a diverse group of young artists. The purpose was to benefit attendance levels, behavior, and satisfaction. The evaluations pointed to an increase in quality of life as well as multiple other positive outcomes, such as pro-social interaction and increased attendance to the gym. While the tour guides are not allowed to talk about specific inmates that were housed at Kingston Pen, some notable residents were Paul Bernardo, Russell Williams, Clifford Olson, Roger Caron, Grace Marks, and Wayne Bowden, the Canadian vampire rapist. Kingston Penitentiary had several units for conjugal and family visits. Inmates with no disciplinary restriction or at risk for family violence could apply for private family visits of up to 72 hours once every 2 months. The tour ends in a gift/souvenir shop where you can also take some photos against a height board. All in all, we really enjoyed this tour, and I would highly recommend it. After the penitentiary tour, we headed over to the Waterfront Pub in Napanee for some lunch. This restaurant is located right on the water in downtown Napanee, and it's a really lovely location to have a bite to eat if you're in the area. We were lucky to get a front row table. The food was great and plentiful, and the service awesome. Thanks for joining us on our adventures today, and we'll see you in the next video.